yeah, we are live. Hi, Nipun. How are you doing?
It's like so good to be talking and connecting on a day which is governed by the same planet which we will be talking about.
Yes. So, hello everyone. We are on this platform of YouTube collaborating today. All of a sudden, we planned that we'll talk about Rahu because today, being Rahu's nakshatra, moon is passing through Ardhara. So, we thought that let's make a video on the same, when Rahu will be exiting on the, I'll tell you the dates. It's going to be from the 29th May 2025 till 25th of November 2026. And as per the me nodes, because I use the true nodes, you all know why, but I'll share this same with everybody again. 18th May 2025 to 5th December 2026, this Rahu, as per the mean nodes, mean Rahu will be transiting through the sign of Aquarius, and Ketu will be right opposite in the Leo sign. So they will be in different nakshatras though, but they will be in the same opposition. So we are going to be discussing a bit about it. Maybe this can be an elaborate video later.
So so like the way Vanita, it's very important because whether in the consultations, the pattern which I'm seeing, or whether in my personal life as well, like Rahu in the Pisces have been little bit chaotic. Like I was talking about my chart. So like being a Aries, Rahu in the 12th is difficult to handle. From the Aquarius moon sign, Rahu in the second. So finance expenses. And this has been the pattern where like many of my clients, they have been
Yes.
subjected to scam calls, being scammed, or many people in whose case the moon is under the natal moon is in the influence of Rahu or Saturn. So,
Yeah.
anxiety and all. So, many people have been going through that. And even, I guess,
Yeah.
even if we talk about from the global mundane point of view, the way things have been shaping up, the way the world order and the war related situation which has been building up. So,
Yeah.
Rahu in the Pisces was not a very good news for a lot of the people.
Yeah, Rahu in Pisces actually, it's a last sign. For Rahu, it's the first one because it
Yes.
always, turns, it is always retrograde. So for Rahu in Pisces, I have seen people have come up with more inclination towards astrology, occult sciences, tarot readers, crystal healers. Like there was a big mayhem, I would
Surge.
say, on the
Yeah. Yeah.
YouTube platform because of all this. But yes, and now with Rahu transiting through Aquarius sign, I would request everyone to move further on, leave the primitive approach and move in the direction of progression. Be more progressive, be more up to date if you really want to make the best use of this transit. And as you know, this is ruled by Saturn. This is Saturn sign, and Rahu is also a co-ruler of this. We all know that Rahu is the co-ruler of
Aquarius.
Aquarius. So you have to be innovative. You have to be more involved in, AI and all. Social media platform may be reshaping now. This is going to be a big time shift of energies. What do you think? I
Yes,
think
definitely.
you will
Yeah. See,
agree with that,
Vanita,
isn't it?
whomsoever people I'm coming in contact with in any way, if they're offering, if their talent, if their skill set is something which is very new age, something which is very innovative, this is what
Yeah.
I've been telling all of them. Trust me, you do not even have to look at the transit or the Shah. Next year is meant for you. Next year is for
Yeah.
you. It will give you platform. It will give you opportunity. It will give
Mm.
you visibility for sure.
Right. Right. So this is what, and on the global politics also, there will be some major, uh, I think the whole system is going to change now, because if we don't change, if we don't leave the primitive behind and follow the in things, then things are not going to work. And some global connectivity, global collaborations, communication, interaction globally, it's like 11th house is like if it is the networking, it's a house of networking. So we have to form a bigger network. The ones who are introvert or they are on the personal level and on the global level also, if there is no connectivity with people, so we are not going to be progressive, and we have to work together in a team. It's the teamwork is going to be required, don't you think?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because it's the it's in networking. We are also networking. Maybe it's because Saturn and Rahu are forming a nakshatra exchange, and Rahu is going to be in a way in when there is a partial exchange. Also, we consider the planets to be switching places. So when Rahu and Saturn are forming a nakshatra exchange, which is from the 3rd of October, and it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing because now this will give you the flavor of Rahu transiting Aquarius next year. So please be aware of this also, because this is going to be giving you the actually, how futuristic thinking you have, what kind of futuristic thinking you have, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. And Vrinda, I personally feel that, all those people, like, it will become more important. Like, for example, if you're having a Rahu Ketu return, or if you're going to have, exchange of any of those planets, so then also this will become important for you, because whenever something big meant to happen, you'll get promise from all the multiple of the directions. Dasha will be promising that, transit is going to be promising that. And we all know this thing that, see, I recently was going through this research material that this guy, he's a singer, Didi, I might be mispronouncing name. So he has been accused of sex trafficking. Now he's been behind the bars, being put on the suicide watch and all. So the whole 18 cycle, the way it happened for him, that the whole Rahu Ketu cycle was somehow could be held responsible for that as well. So right now as well, the whole, if you go through the timeline, it all happened during that time only. And it's like, I do not know from where I'm getting these examples. It could be the case because today moon is in conjunct with Mars and it's Ardhara. I'm getting all these examples. See, I'll tell you one more example. So what happened? There is one very famous TikToker, handle in the Instagram is Jink ID. So what happened? He used to do the impression of Al Pacino, Scarface and all of that. He was good. And I used to follow him. And suddenly I was in my film school, I was attending class. I got to know that, okay, he shot his wife and he shot his one another person. Now he has been put behind bars. There was a time he was having such a golden like future. He started collaborating with the top-notch people of Hollywood. But just because he suspected his wife having an affair, and that one incident completely ruined his life. Now yesterday only posted from his handle now because he has been sentenced for life imprisonment. So I mean to say, it's only the Rahu Ketu which hold this potential to completely change the course of someone's life. They are the planet of collective consciousness.
Maybe, the dasha of Rahu or Ketu, that is also going to play out. And especially if you have any graha in Aquarius, any graha in Leo sign. And if it is your first house or your 7th house, obviously,
Yes.
So
yes.
these people are going to get impacted the maximum. So you know what? Actually, if we go back 18 years back, so this is when this happened. So the people who were born 18 years minus 18 more years after that, or 18 years before that. So you will get to know that this transit plays a very important role. Inverse return happens every 9 years. Okay. Every 9 years, the inverse return will happen. So it will also be
such a good point, raise such a good point. The very first iPhone was launched 18 years back. First model of iPhone. The technology
innovation.
Yes.
See, that's what. See,
and
like go back 18 years further. Then you will get to know even more, like what happened. Things really changed.
All those people who are like very science buff and all. So the Big Bang Theory was launched in 2007. First iPhone was launched in 2007. Okay, it's not a good example, but Kim Kardashian's their first show, like season of Keeping Up with the Kardashian was launched in 2007.
That is something which was like we've never seen. That was the first in its own.
It became viral, right? Yeah, it became viral. So yes, you are
we have to also be more, pull up your socks and pull up yourself, that we are going to be more futuristic. We have to be more into, the progressive scientific endeavors, research oriented mindset. We have to maybe space travel, biotechnology, progressive, quantum physics, all these areas definitely are going to be, and space exploration. Also, one more thing before I forget, because in a flow, you get to know so many things. Extraterrestrial terrestrial activities will increase. Maybe we'll be sighting more of the, spaceships or some aliens, or maybe we will become little alienated to our own environments, you know.
See, Vanita, I want to add over
Yeah.
here. You brought
Yeah.
such a beautiful point because when I was giving a reference, I was just checking the chart in 2007 when
Hmm.
this axis was like this last time. So when
Hmm.
Rahu was in the Aquarius, see, we cannot overlook this fact that we
Hmm.
have to
Hmm.
go where the
Hmm.
dispositor is there, the core lord of the
Obviously.
Aquarius is there. So that time,
Obviously.
the Aquarius lord Saturn was in the Leo in 2007. But
Oh,
now
wow.
in 2025, when Rahu will be in the Aquarius, Saturn is going to be in the Pisces, and you said the right thing, sighting of aliens, this thing
In the
and that.
Pisces sign. Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
Pisces
In
it
the
will
Pisces
definitely.
sign. Also, Leo's transit for Ketu is going to be, Sun's transit is going to be very important because Ketu is in the Leo sign ruled by
Leo
Sun.
sign.
It's
Yeah.
said whenever Sun is forming a connection with Ketu, I think Ernst Wilhelm once we were discussing. So he said that whenever Ketu and Sun are forming a connection, you become very uh, demanding, or you become very charged up in that particular zone where your Leo sign is. Because you become dominating, or you become too self-centric in that particular zone, because Sun is actually, it exalts in the first house of the natural zodiac. So we cannot rule out on that. So people who have Leo sign, wherever they have, they will become more possessive and protective and dominating and more careful about that. Suppose it is the fifth house of yours, okay, in the natural zodiac, if somebody is Aries rising, so this will be the fifth house. So you will become very protective about your children, or you will have more power over your children, or maybe you want your area shifts towards them even more, and maybe you will break up from your partner to look after your children, you know, for
Yes.
an example's sake. So that is something which this Ketu, you have to see where Ketu, wherever Ketu is, it is going to emit the energy of Sun, and Sun will be transiting 12 zodiac signs every year. So it is going to be giving and emitting the energy of that Surya's Graha's transit as well every month. So you have to check that. So on the other hand, there's a slowest planet, which is Saturn, which is a dispositor lord. And here, every month, we are going through the Sankranti because Ketu is there. So we are going to be very, very spiritually inclined. We are going to be very creative again. We are going to be futuristic again. So that is something which is going to be playing out even more.
And
Yeah.
one more thing, Vanita, what you have to say on this thing, because I follow the geopolitics a lot, and the way
Yeah.
like recently the Israel, they send like US has to send the troops to Middle
Hmm.
East because of this whole unrest taking place, and
Hmm.
the Russia Ukraine is not coming to any solution. But the US presidential election is also due, and whomsoever is
Yeah.
going to come in the seat will going to have some certain amendments in the policy which goes
Hmm.
towards supporting Ukraine and this war and all. So what do you think? Because whenever like Rahu is in the
See,
Aquarius,
I
somehow
abstain myself from politics. All
did
my audience at least knows this, that I
Hmm.
abstain myself because, you know, there are so many, many factors. Number one is that we do not have the correct data. I don't do anything to do with politics. I do it when it is the annular chart that we pick up.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, the yes,
that is
Chaitra
yeah. So that
Shukra,
is
yeah.
the Chaitra
Pasha.
Shukla Paksha Pratipada chart. So
Hmm.
of that particular country, we have to pick up, and then we see that who's going to be doing well. So we have to see the lagna where the
No, but
transit is happening. All that, yeah.
yes, see, when we talk about the sign which somehow influences the global
Hmm.
consciousness and all, so Aquarius is connected over there. Rahu is going
Yeah.
to be little bit over there. So what I
Yeah.
personally feel that okay, if even if you will not talk about from the verdict's point of view,
Yeah. Yeah.
there is a high possibility that the global consensus, or we call that the mutual unison, coming to a solution is going to be the need of the hour. So like the way, for
Yep.
example, when transit is something like that, when Rahu is in the Pisces, we are
Hmm.
just coming across people, planting things, countries planting things, spies getting
Mhm.
exposed, and this and that thing happening. But there's a high possibility when Rahu is going to be Aquarius, so the world will come together and looking for the mutual growth and support for each other rather than coming in the way of each other. So
Yeah,
somehow
that's true.
Rahu was the biggest agent which
Hmm.
kept on we all know that when Rahu was in the Gemini, the whole COVID thing happened when Rahu was strong. But comparatively, because when we talk about Gemini and comparing it with another air sign, Aquarius, the innate nature of Aquarius energy has got more to do with the humanitarian effort. It has got more to do with the world, making the world a better place.
Better
Trust me,
place,
this is another sign which has got this intent which the Aquarius possesses to make the world a better place, the utopian mindset.
Yes.
So I personally feel, okay, we will not even talk about that who's going to win the election, who's going to, but whomsoever is going to be in the seat will definitely think in the lines of making world a better place.
Yes,
And
I
all
hope
these
so.
war
I
fronts,
wish that, of course, but it is again very vague, that statement to make that this person is going to be doing that. It is again a personal horoscope that plays out the most, because transits are not the event creators and they don't change anybody's personality as such. But surely, whenever we see whether this person's nature is that or not. Rahu will be playing out. Rahu will be playing out to some extent. That, of course, that person can be very progressive. That person can think about the growth. But if at all it is Trump, I'm saying so. If at all it's Trump, so we all know that he is going to be looking at his country's progress, his people's progress a lot, as compared to, of course, the Indians there, because we are Indians, so we can talk about that more. So there is a lot of opposition that I've heard, from people there, that we don't want him, because especially the Indians, they are dreading him to be the president. That's what. So anyhow, we'll see what happens, because he's a Leo rising, I guess, isn't it?
yes.
And Ketu
And
is going to be transiting his first house.
I still remember that incident which happened. Actually, God gives him a long life and all, but that when assassination attempt happened,
Yeah.
even
I think
on that day,
thrice.
moon was moved in the Scorpio right over his Ketu, and had he not moved his head just a single notch from
Yep.
microsecond, so it's like the moon somehow, and actually that only gave a narrative that okay, he is lucky, he's fortunate, he's like a messiah. So this is the politics happen, and what do you think?
Right. See,
Vanita, like
I'm
all,
not worried about the energy of Rahu being in Aquarius. I am more worried because Rahu's energy is tamed only by Ketu. Remember, that is why they are the opposite energies. And
yes.
Ketu is one planet that I have seen takes you to heights, takes you to places, makes you sit on that throne. Ketu is the one who's actually, you have seen that, in India, we used to have a flag of India.
Magha, the biggest nakshatra power, Magha.
So
Yeah, Ketu.
Ketu
Very
is the
true.
one who
Very true.
will take you to places. So I feel that, if you really want to, tame the Rahu's energy here, so you need to be more creative, more, in that past life karmic pattern that you have been living, and you have to really, change the dynamics now if you really want to move ahead in life. And there has to be a higher purpose, a self less purpose. If you are not having that, this Ketu is not going to do well in Leo sign. For the ones who are having, if you really want to make the best use of this Ketu energy, I think you should be more selfless, do things, get detached. That's what I can say.
Yes.
Can we do
And
this quick review on the sign wise prediction, so that people who are here, they should not feel that, it's like a high and dry kind of a feeling for them? I don't
yeah,
think
why
so.
not? Please, please.
We should do that. See,
Yeah, sure.
take up quickly. You can add points if you want to. See, Aries, this is going to be an 11 and 5th house axis, which is going to be predominant. You can add points after I finish, surely. Rahu is going to be in your 11th house. Now, this is the time which will be opening way more opportunities for you as you had expected. Now, this is the time when you will gain, you will get connected with social circle, you will make the best use of your technological skill, AI skills. You're going to be really, very, very out of the box kind of a personality. And you have to work towards the humanitarian cause for sure. This is a remedy that I'm giving you. I will come up with something very different, maybe sometime later, the remedial part. I will make a separate video for the remedies because, I have to have that mind frame when this was extempore that we decided that we'll do it. So what do you think? What is Aries natives, going to go
Vanita,
through?
first of all, thanks a lot from the core of my heart. I'm a Aries. All of that
Oh,
prediction
wow.
made up my day. It's like I'm
You
floating
made
on
my
the
day.
air now. I'm not walking on the.
Wow.
No, no. The thing is very true, rightly said by you. Because
Yeah.
one thing is for sure, for the Aries people, this is going to be the time for scaling up. See, in my research, because I have my natal 4 planets in the Aquarius in the 11th house, so I have done a
Wow.
lot of research in the 11th house. Trust me, what I personally feel in the modern day context, 11th house is just not the house of the wish fulfillment. This is the house of success. We see all kind of important people, important connection, titles, like the way K.N. Rao sir has said that those people who become presidents, those people who get the Nobel in the transit, 11th house has to support that. So I mean to
Right.
say, for the Aries natives, I don't care or I don't know where you are in your life, but this is the time when you have to think the next level. You have to think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
scale up,
absolutely.
and
I
life
agree.
will definitely provide you the opportunities. Because for the Aries, if Rahu's in the 11th, the 10th Lord is also in the 12th. So yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
the new opportunities, hidden aspect will open up from in front of you. A lot of purification, cleansing will open. And one line prediction for the Aries, it's time for you to scale up and think beyond your own created restrictions.
Also, Ketu will be in the fifth house. So, if at all you are in the romantic relationship, this might not be the favorable time period. Do not depend on any relationship as such, from the past, or you say that, I hope my relationship revives, or it just is blooming, because Ketu will make you cold, or it will make you go a little away from the relationship question, and not a good time period for childbirth also, because Ketu energy is in Leo sign, not good for childbirth also. For Taurus natives, this transit of Rahu is going to be, I think, in the 10th house. Okay. I don't
Yes.
have the chart. I'm used to the chart
Yeah.
in front of me, but it's okay. So it's going to be in the 10th house. Taurus is is the bull. Okay. And this is a fixed sign. So you have to be more flexible now. You have to be more innovative. You have to be more unconventional. And anything that, you have been, you have set, that no, you're rigid at the workplace, you don't have that kind of a rapport, this person is very, as we say, is very finicky or eccentric, at the workplace, let's not talk to him. That kind of a feeling, you have to come out, you have to break it. Okay, so you have to be more involved in getting connected with people more, break the unconventional career paths, take up something out of the box, and also avoid taking shorter roads, because you have to be ethical. Whenever the 10th house Rahu comes in, you can lose the sanity. So you have to sanity, I would say. So you have to stick to the path which is ethical, righteous path, and morals. That is what do you have to add? Then I'll add Ketu's.
Yeah, Manita, very beautifully said by you. See, what I personally feel is that because I'm seeing it in cahoots in combination with everything, definitely Rahu in the 10th house will open up new like platforms for you, because I see 11th house as the reward. 10th house is the actual working ground. This is the place
Mm,
where
mm,
we are not talking about rewards. We are talking about, hey, I'm ready to take up any new challenge. I'm ready to work
yeah.
in new situation. I'm ready to
Mm,
deal with the new people. So Rahu will
mm,
definitely open up those avenues for you. And being a Taurus, because you have that fixity in you, so you do not have to
mm.
restrict those changes which life will be throwing at you, or at the workplace your bosses will be throwing at you. Second thing,
Yeah.
it's a very rewarding time for these guys, because on May 13th, Jupiter will transit to your second house.
Mm,
Saturn, your important planet, your Karak planet, is going to be transiting in your 11th house. So definitely for
absolutely.
the Taurusians, they are heading towards some sort of unusual people, challenges, opportunities, and
Mm.
lot many financial gain and opportunities. That all what I can say.
I agree. I agree. But Ketu energy, is going to be Ketu in the fourth house takes you away from the family, and you will be more involved in the workplace. You'll be obsessed, in fact, So that is that a work-life balance you have to definitely maintain, because, I have seen people leaving the country and going, if the fourth house is afflicted by Ketu, if you have a moon there, or if you have a Mars there. So definitely it is a time that you leave your country and go and settle somewhere else if you want to, or the place where you are, you can just go intercity, interstate, whatever. So Ketu in the fourth house also makes you quite vulnerable. Actually, I've seen when it transits the fourth house, because fourth house is the house of happiness. So you become too too detached from the happiness. You look for happiness more than the usual self. So you need to make peace with whatever you get, because Ketu transit the fourth house will give you detachment from the family, will make you feel isolated, you will feel low
Yes.
on energy also. So that is something that I'm not too happy with the fourth house Ketu, but surely Rahu energy is going to play out even more. So spend more time working, spend more time being more into the innovative and creative you, so that you feel a little better and highly charged up. Gemini. So for Gemini natives, this is going to be in the ninth house, where this transit of Rahu is going to be, and third house would be Ketu, right opposite. So in the ninth house is the house of expansion also. You have to learn more when it is the house of upskilling yourself, when it comes to the ninth house energy. Foreign travels, philosophy, religion, unconventional thought process, all that we see from here, and the father figure. Ninth house transit of any malefic Nipun, actually, I have seen, when Saturn transits, Rahu transits, I don't want to utter these words, but generally, there is no we say no karma kand that happens. That is, no good, auspicious religious activities take place. So what happens? Rather, there is a demise and you have to visit the ghat. That is the cremation ground. It could be any loss of a near and dear one. I don't want to utter this, but maybe, it depends on your dasha, it depends on other factors also. But mostly I've seen, if it was somebody who is ailing from a long time, this could activate this area also. But for traveling, academic purpose, adopting extreme belief system, you want to just take the opportunities suddenly, all that is going to get active. And this is the time you should actually expand and learn more. Go for the higher skills and higher learning, if at all you're lagging behind. This is also the 12th place is away from your 10th. So you need to amend yourself. There can be a loss of job or change of job, or it can bring about some shifts in the energies. Maybe the boss changes, your co-workers change, or they leave, and that kind of an energy. You can add now anything.
Yeah, Vanita, very beautifully said by you, because see, there are like certain places which are always debated. So Rahu's placement, Rahu's transit from the ninth house always gets debated amongst the astrology groups
Because it's
and circles.
Jupiter's, yeah.
Yes, sir. But
Yeah.
Vanita, if I were to say, see, the thing is, what I personally feel, if we have to blend all the three entities, we are blending Aquarius, which has to do with the scientific knowledge. We have to blend ninth house, which has to do everything with the wisdom, and Rahu, which is innately curious. What I personally feel in today's modern day and age, see what we learned like initial our early formative education and all. Fourth house, fifth house, that is not serving us that much as people these days have to go through post graduation and all. So I would say that ninth house generally Rahu's transit will definitely enable open lot many doors of scientific and that sort of professional on the job kind of learning and skills for you. And see guys, the good part is that because the dispositor of that sign Saturn is in the 10th house, so trust me, if you will enroll for a course, you will enroll for a certification, you might also get a job very soon as well. Sometimes what happened, oh my god, I did that SAP course, I did that Oracle language, this and that thing did, and it never helped me, it never served me. But you guys are in such a beautiful auspicious yoga. The planet of learning, Jupiter is already there in your first house, like next year, like from May 13th. And the ninth lord of that sign where Rahu is transiting is in the 10th house. So I mean to say, trust me, have the faith in the higher universe. If you enroll for a course certification, even if it's little bit heavy in your pocket, but it will serve. It will serve. The immediate return of that will be fast. Like the way they're like those people who keep on doing astrology for years. And they're like those who just do one certification, one course, 1 year, and suddenly everyone knows them in the world. So this is the kind of, that is the main area I want to highlight. But yes, there will be travels. There will be like lot many cosmopolitan kind of teachers and gurus you will be attracted towards. and it will definitely give you. I see, the thing is, when it comes down to Rahu Ketu, I follow Prash Trivedi's work very sincerely. It's very close to my heart. So he has actually mentioned this thing, and we have in person discussed like that. Rahu from the ninth house transit gives a lot of the provision of fortune awakening away from the birthplace. So for all those people with the Gemini rising, if they're right now in the foreign land away from their birthplace, there's a high possibility that they might be enabled and entitled for more opportunities. That's all what I have to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. No, it's a beautiful analysis, that is something that people have to um, actually upgrade themselves. Don't be stagnant in whatever.
Yes,
And
very
you're
true.
getting the grace of Jupiter, obviously, ninth house is
First
getting
house.
active. And
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the natural zodiac, this is the sign, this is the house ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is looking here. So what else
Very
you
true.
want? So
Yes.
wisdom prevails ultimately. See, it is
Yeah.
not a Guru Chandala yoga. People will now talk about that they are forming a mutual connection. It's a Guru Chandala yoga. No, whenever I consider these yogas working more for the babies or the horoscopes more. When on this day somebody is born, so it'll work more. Anyhow, let's move on to Cancer. There's another
Yeah.
topic about it. So,
Yeah.
Cancer natives, this is going to be in your eighth house. And again, Jupiter is looking from the 12th. So this is definitely going to minimize the impact, but surely this is a time for hidden realms, whatever is undercover. Rahu is a spy also, actually, so don't be too suspicious on your partner, on your relationship. You can just have, all those encounter some kind of revelations during this time, and you will just have this thing, no, I have, to, I have to be suspicious on my husband or my wife, or something like that can happen, that can trigger, that can intensify. So that you have to work on. But this is a very beautiful time to self introspect and transform yourself. And if you're an astrologer, especially, generally I've seen people who are having more of water signs prevalent. Either they are too emotional, or they are into they understand other people's worries and knowledge about other people's things more, and they are very good at imparting knowledge. So this is a very good time to learn astrology. This is a good time to learn something hidden knowledge, hidden realms. Okay. And be cautious of investments right now. There can be losses that you can make, because Rahu is going to make you very impulsive. It's suddenly, because it's the 8th house energy also playing out, but it is in the restrictive sign of owned by Mool Trikona Rashi of Saturn. So if you are going to utilize the wisdom and be cautious, don't be impulsive in your investments, I think you're good to go. I guess you can do better. What do you think?
Yeah, as beautifully said by you, Vanita, I just want to add few things over here. See, what I personally felt is that, see, a lot of the people in the world who get the punishment from the Saturn, it only happened because Rahu has done its misdeed before Saturn started working on you. We only see, the thing is, we do
Beautiful.
bad things, bad thoughts only under the guise of Rahu. And Saturn has to do its duty of rewarding us for our own actions. So I mean to say, apart from all the things which are valid with this transit, that okay, Rahu in the eighth house being in its own own sign, it's gonna make you very much inclined towards research, unusual things, mysterious things, gain on investments, past investments. But the thing is that Cancerians are very emotional fellows, right? So you have to be very careful of abiding by your duties and dharma very carefully. Like, let's say, for example, even if you have interest in tantra, you have interest in dark things. So in that guise, in that drive, do not end up doing things overweight, because the dispositor of that Saturn is in the ninth house. He is observing
Of
that you
Rahu,
are
yeah.
doing your dharma in a right or not. Otherwise, there is a thing which I discussed with very good friend of mine, another astrologer, the dand. The punishment is also not that far away. So let's say, for example,
Yes.
if you driven by your passion and obsession for certain things, and the thing is, okay, Vanita, we cannot even overlook this fact that all the things which are taboo, okay, you are married in a relationship, not happy, but this is what your duty is. And other person, if even it fascinating you, but you should not be doing that, because this is where the boundary of right and wrong comes, your discipline and self-control comes. And Rahu will
Right.
tempt you towards all those kind of things. And the problem is that the way you deviate from your dharma, the Saturn is there, the eighth lord is in the ninth house for the dand, for the punishment. So these are
Absolutely.
the few things which I want to say. But yes, anything unusual, unusual thing, innovative thing, and dark thing, the matters of life and death, the esoteric stuff will be catching their fancy, their attraction, their fascination a lot. How far they will go in the pursuit of that, it all is dependent on the chart.
Yeah, I agree. And Ketu will be right opposite, not to forget, you know. So Ketu will be making you more detached, or maybe there will be, I have seen whenever Ketu is in the second house, it depletes the finances. Either you're too obsessed about finances, or you're just cribbing, oh, too much of expenditures happened,
Very
this
true.
happened, that
Very true.
happened. So you're all the time in that mode, you know, where you will feel that, oh, I wish I could save this money. And this is also Leo sign, not to forget. So Leo sign Ketu will give you too much of expenditure on maybe, you know, buying stuff for your family. You will still not get that reward from the people that you will be spending on. So you have to be prepared for that also, you know, simultaneously, that, okay, minimize your expenditures and don't get carried away to show others that you have, you know, be mindful of expenditures. That's what I can say. But you will definitely get detachment from your family members also. And eat right. Eat right.
Yes, eat right. Yes.
Yeah. So Leo, coming to Leo, right? We are on Leo.
Yes.
So
Leo.
for Leo, somebody has to do the timestamps because, you know, this is live session. Please pardon us. So for Leo natives, this is going to be in the 7th house, where the transit of Rahu is going to be. Then I'll come to Ketu later. So now when Rahu is going to be in the 7th house, it's a very positive time for collaborations, for getting married in an unusual and an unconventional manner. It's said that, you know, your partner can be from overseas, or maybe you're going to be getting business from the overseas places. Collaborations will be extensive, and you're going to be having some major relationships, partnerships. It can bring in the partner becomes very demanding also, because Ketu is over the 1st house. So you only have to actually, you know, be little careful about the relationship. Don't break away from the relationship during this time, because you can have that kind of, the dynamics in relationship is going to change for sure. Whenever, you know, the malefics transit the Kendras, I have seen this brings in displacement. If it is Saturn, if it is, and as it is, Saturn will be in your 8th house. So it has to bring in that kind of a displacement and complications in relationships also. Because 7th Lord, when goes into the 6th house or 8th house, that is definitely going to bring in that unbalanced kind of a situation for you. So you have to be very careful. Thankfully, there is a minimizing impact, because the 8th Lord, of course, Jupiter is looking, but Jupiter is also your 8th Lord. So when 8th Lord is looking at this Rahu energy, so this might just be a minus plus kind of a situation. So you need to be focused more on the 8th house energy, which Nipun described really well. I am sure, Nipun, you will describe this even better, that the 8th house energy is going to play out even more, because Jupiter, the 8th Lord, is looking at this Rahu. What do you say?
Yeah, definitely, Vanita. As rightfully said by you, that see, 11th house, 4th house is the house of public. 7th house is also the house where we deal with the other people and the world. We are out there in the market, negotiating the best deal, which is for us. And Rahu, Mercury, these are the planets which are the best negotiator. They want to. Rahu is like a chameleon. It knows how to project itself to the best of its capabilities. So yes, from the commerce, from the trade, from the self projection, or announcing your arrival, that okay, hey, now I'm here, this is me, I want to do the business, please know what I have to offer in the world and all. So regarding all of that, for the projection, for launching something, for getting into alliance with people, exploring new terrains and all, like the way something which I mentioned for the Aries, for whom the Rahu is going to be there in the 11th house, I will say the same for the Leo as well, that this is the time for you to scale up. Like, let's say, for example, reach out, collaborate, get into alliance with people. And the good part is that it is being like this whole union is going to be getting blessed by the Jupiter's blessing, which is coming from the, like, one of the very commercially important house, which is the 11th house. So yes, Jupiter's blessing, Jupiter's aspect is going to be blessing this union. Now this can take place definitely if you are on a lookout for like you are quoting someone who is from a different caste, who is from a different nationality. So even tying the knot, Jupiter in the 11th, Aspecting the seventh, it's a very good energy. Along with that, see, we also have to take into consideration what the sign Lord is doing. So definitely, Saturn gets somehow because in my own chart as well, Saturn is in the eighth house. I'm in touch with lot many people. Saturn in the eighth house is not that. It's not always that bad. So yes, a
Yeah.
Saturn in
But
the
retrograde
will
is. But retrograde
yeah.
Saturn is. Yeah.
Yes. So the seventh lord is going to be there in the eighth house, and also it will definitely deep bonding and getting into the deeper nuances, understanding the collective psyche of the people of the world. So this is how I guess it is going to be working out. So if I were to say my one line of prediction for after the Aries to the Leo is that do not restrict, scale up, and project yourself, advertise, market yourself. This is the time for you.
Wow. I expected the same, from you, that you will actually describe this the best way,
No, no,
because eighth house, is strong of yours, so you really can. And also, Ketu will be in the first house, so there's a detaching energy, which means that
yes.
spiritual awakening can happen. Also, you have to leave your ego aside. Don't get involved in anything where, it's just the selfish motive or something. You are a public person. Though Ketu in the first house will detach you, but swim against the tide. That is what this transit is about. So in the seventh house, if it says that, your marriage can be with a partner who can deceive you or something, you have to be more spiritually inclined, because Ketu will tame the energy of Rahu, no? So you will get the partner if you really want that kind of a partner. So you need to be more focused on your spiritual growth, on your introspection, on creativity, on growth, and whatever can take you to a different path altogether from what you are right now. So this will be like giving you that mellowing impact. So I think it's a beautiful time period. You should make the best use of. If you have to displace from this place where you are, this is the right time to do so as well. For Virgo natives, this is going to be in the sixth house of yours. Rahu energy is going to be playing out in the sixth house. And sixth house is the house of health, daily work, service, disease. Also, a break of agreements, because seventh house is agreements, is the 12th house. So it is the break of agreements also. So you need to be more focused on your health right now, first of all, because Rahu in the sixth house, eighth house gives chronic pains, chronic disease, something from the past can come up again. So you need to really work harder on your health, fitness, and food and diet. And if you can have a good connectivity with those kinds of people, at the workplace, who are actually, it's better that you leave aside your ego and just work as a team altogether, rather than, just working in isolation. No, I can do it all myself. No, you can have misunderstandings, you can have conflicts with your coworkers, but you need to balance it out right now. From now itself, start working on your relationship, because this can lead to break in agreement, as I said. So any kind of loans, litigation, conflicts, if you are getting involved in, you have been doing it from a long time and you're just entrapped. So now you have to work through that, so that you do not get more in this, in this even more, because this is like it's a quicksand where, you just get absorbed even more. So that kind of an energy is going to play out. What do you say, Nipun? Sorry.
Yeah, see, Vanita, very rightfully said by you. See, we all know this thing that Rahu from the Upachya Bhava, like third house, sixth house, 10th house, 11th house, Rahu generally does good. But the difference over here is that people sometimes get misinterpreted. They think, okay, winning over through aggression and through force is the domain of the Mars. Rahu is like a chameleon. It's like mischievous. It's a manipulator,
Yeah.
diplomatic. He wants to get things done even without other person realizing that he has been conned. He has been tricked. This is what the style and the guise of Rahu is. But Rahu in the Aquarius is different. Here the power of Rahu works in the collective. Like we all know this thing that okay, like there is one person, he might be bad, but he has so much favors, he has done so much for other people that no man, I know he is at fault, but I have so many favors which he has done to me, I cannot go against him. So that's what the kind of collective power of collective which Rahu gains whenever it is like transiting from the sixth house. So, okay, I am going to be a little bit biased over here that this transit, see, in the original Kalpurush Kundli, Virgo in itself is the sixth house energy, and
Yeah.
Rahu is there in the sixth house. Jupiter is in the 10th house. From the business point of view, okay, I beg to differ. people whether agree this or not, but Jupiter is good for giving advice, teaching and all, but for the business point of view, I do not see Jupiter to be that strong planet. So I mean to say, I'm little bit biased for the service professional with this transit. So compared to someone who is in business and comparing with someone who is like works, like you could be CEO, you could be on a top notch position. And so for the service professionals, people who are doing social work or some sort, or people who are engaged in any philanthropic, NGO, humanitarian work related fields and all, these are the guys who will make the best out of this transit. So I do not know how much it is going to be financially lucrative for you, but in order to give you attainment of position, of power, doing good in your job, justifying the role which has been allotted to you, this is going to be one of the very best transit. And the way I always say this thing, it's not only the Rahu which is going to be in the 6th house, the 12th house Ketu. So it is also going to be bringing a lot of the awakening, churning up, soul awakening, epiphany, prophetic dreams, visions, hunches. So overall, if I were to say Jupiter in the 10th house, Rahu in the 6th house, this is the time for you do not have to waste this golden time to get into conflict with someone. Rather, even make your opposition people adore you because of your success, because of the talent which you have. So this is how it is going to be working out for the Virgo. So again, I'll be a little bit biased more than people who are in commerce, who are in the business. For the job and the service professional, this is going to be the golden time.
Yeah, absolutely. That is why I said that you have to be a little cautious about all these areas. Maybe, you're just bringing your ego in between and you have clashes with your own people. There can be some kind of entanglements that you can get involved in unnecessarily, because remember, Rahu is a confused state of mind. People do get deviated from their path.
Yes.
Rahu is confusion, delusion, and it will bring in break in the relationships also. That kind of a planet. It binds you, but it takes you away also. It is a materialistic planet after all. So any planet which is in 3, 6, 10, 11 Upchaya houses, it is going to be giving good results. But we should never leave Ketu behind, because Ketu energy is also going to be playing out in the 12th house of yours. It is going to be bringing about isolation. It is good if you are more self-introspective, because 12th house energy is going to take you away. If you are in the foreign land, it will bring troubles in the foreign land also. So you be prepared. That's what we can say. Don't get involved in any, any kind of legal matters, etc. also. Okay, the police and all that. Now coming to the Libra side. Libra people, this is going to be in your 5th house. Rahu transit in the 5th house is sort of a, little bit, I would say, not that great placement. And Saturn was there earlier, so it has also given you a lot of trouble, because it's a panati kind of a, as we say in Vedic culture. When Rahu is going to be there, so any kind of malefics definitely will be giving you problems in your conception, children, romance, but you will be very unconventional. Rahu is an unconventional planet. We must agree upon that. And that is something which is good for your speculative matters. And Rahu will give you growth in your financials. It is applicable for everyone. But the Ketu energy, if it is giving you, then Ketu is reversing everything. It's like that energy. So how you balance it out. Thankfully, Jupiter is looking here. So it is an expansive energy clubbing with an expansive energy of Jupiter. But Jupiter is not a Shubh Graha for this Libra sign. So what will happen? There will be some issues that you have to deal with as regards to your romance, as regards to your children. So this might bring in some major, IVF treatments. We will be hearing more that people have to go for pregnancies or conceptions in a very difficult way. But do remember, for personal level, it is not good for jivas. What do you call that? The people,
living signification.
Living significations, your real-time relationships, they suffer whenever Rahu transits a particular zone. So when we talk about Rahu for financials, it is definitely going to be positive for you. Some unconventional kind of a creative projects you'll be involved in, and it will bring in too much of growth in your in your speculative pursuits also. You will be really doing well. Please take over, Nipun, and tell me how Libra people will be doing.
Vanita, very beautifully said by you. The thing is, I always say this thing in my videos that I'm always biased towards Libra because I'm friends with lot many
So
Librans.
am
Yeah,
I.
yeah. So see, the thing is, Rahu in the fifth house has the capacity to give good results only. See, the thing is, it has this tendency to make people, think in a very grandiose lines, like something which is
Hmm.
very unusually big, something which
Hmm.
is like very more than ordinary, something unusual kind of things and all. See, because we cannot overlook this fact that fifth house also tells about your buddhi, your memory, the kind of thoughts which comes to your mind. And
Intellect, yeah.
Rahu over here, yeah, so if Rahu is controlled and tamed, and see, a lot is dependent on the kind of yogas which you have in your natal chart as well, because at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
Rahu is not a physical body. Rahu's impact is more on the subconscious level, on more on a mental plane. So a lot is
Hmm.
dependent on the kind of state moon is there in your natal chart, the kind of
Hmm.
dashas you're currently going through. Let's say, for example, if the
Hmm.
universe is already conspiring you to become a millionaire now, and
Hmm. Hmm.
in order to support that, you have that yogas and you have those activated dasha, then Rahu
Hmm.
can definitely open up lot many doors for you. But like the way,
Absolutely.
as beautifully said by you, Vanita, it's like when it comes down to the living signification of the fifth house, when we talk
Hmm.
about, let's say, for example, the females who are already
Hmm.
pregnant and all. So the thing is, it even the delivery, if it will happen. So like this is the time when opting for IVF and other like people who go for on a lookout for adoption and all. So anything
Hmm.
which is unusual pertaining to the matters of the fifth house can
Hmm.
actually grant you results. Along with that,
Hmm.
when we talk about a lot many people see the whole like trine house, like fifth house, ninth house. A lot many
Hmm.
times I've seen that when people are like important planets are transiting from the fifth house, ninth house, people enroll
Hmm.
for on the job courses, certification, workshops, and all. So even that will
Hmm.
also prove to be very fruitful for you. Rahu's transit from the natal Rahu, from the natal moon, from the ascendant, from the fifth house. A lot many
Hmm.
times it has been seen the musician, artist who tend to stand a chance for receiving any award or something.
Hmm.
So yes, this
Hmm.
is how it is going to be working out. I would still say this thing that before coming into any conclusion, individual state and placement of the moon, what dignity moon is in the natal chart, what is the running dasha, will
Hmm.
have a lot to say, because Rahu works on a mental plane. Fifth house tells
Absolutely.
about the thoughts which you will be flooded with, and
Hmm.
whether you'll be able to capitalize it or not, a lot is dependent on that. But one thing is for sure, this is one side, one such placement or transit of Rahu which has the potential to either reverse someone's fortune or actually
Hmm.
make someone very fortunate in any of the financial matter.
Absolutely. Very well said, Nipun. Yeah, very knowledgeable. You're very
No, no,
knowledgeable.
no. What I think? No, 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 no. I'm just
Absolutely. Yeah.
beginner. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I must appreciate in front of everyone that this is a live session. I'm used to it. Nipun is not, and he's
Yeah.
doing so well.
Thank God I put my bread from the microwave. I already had my sandwich in the microwave, just 5-10 minutes. Hi, hello. And then I'll eat my sandwich. My sandwich is still in the microwave.
You can take a break if you want
No,
to.
no, 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 no. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's do it.
No, but I really appreciate this, that when you are doing live, you speak from your heart, and there are, it's like you put everything into a reading, as if you are sitting live with a client, and you're giving that information. And this is something that I always go for. And definitely Libras, I love Libras too much.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a very good time period for you guys. I'm not being biased, but yes, I am biased. So
Yes.
it is definitely good for your romance, for your learning, etc. And you know what, uh, the best part would be that Ketu in your 11th house will make you isolate from the larger circle that you have been wasting your energies. Now you will actually sieve it. You will not want those kinds of people in your life who are actually wasting your time. Now you
Yes.
will have, because Ketu is in your house of community, friends. Now you're going to be more working on the humanitarian causes. You will help others, you'll be growing spiritually, you'll be working on your growth, inner growth also. It's not just that we are growing financially. That is why Rahu is materialistic planet and Ketu is not. and they go hand in hand. These two energies have to balance out. Only then things will work. So Libra natives, just a word of caution that do not get involved in those kinds of circles or people in that community who are actually, giving you that, who are just trying to pull you down, or you're just saying that you're good for nothing. This is time now. Leave them aside, leave them behind, move further, move ahead, and you will definitely rule the world. I can assure you that, isn't it?
Yes,
So
yes.
moving on to Scorpio, Nipun. For Scorpio, this is going to be the fourth house transit. And fourth house transit means that your focus will be more on your family dynamics. You're just, getting obsessed about your family. Maybe, you're living away from them. So you want to visit them often, or you want to relocate. You want to be more innovative in your living space. You're redoing your place. Sometimes people go crazy also when they're doing their house. It took me ages, to complete my house, refurbish it, because, it
Yes.
was not Rahu energy playing out. But yes, I have seen that some people have, too much of obsession about their place and their looks and their, dynamics, family dynamics. So this kind of energy is because of Rahu. And Rahu is going to be giving you a house. If you're looking for real estate matters, will get resolved, though you have to be careful while signing the agreements and all. Also check the papers well if you're going in for purchasing of anything, vehicle or any kind of assets, that that immovable property, etc. So you need to be more on that safer ground. But you have to be very, very emotionally sound, because Rahu in the fourth house will give you too much of emotions, which are actually, making you feel frustrated also. And maybe, you're not feeling too up to it. What do you think, Nipun?
Yeah, Vanita as rightly said by you, see, the thing is, fourth house definitely tells about the public. Aquarius is a sign which is a sign of collectiveness. So, see, the thing is, the irony of the Scorpions for the next year is that for the initial 4 5 months, their ascendant lord is going to be hovering only in the eighth house, ninth house, like Gemini, Cancer, Gemini, Cancer. So they have
Yeah.
to deal with this kind of energy to begin with. Second thing is
Yeah.
that Saturn transiting in the fifth house in the Pisces, a lot many
Hmm.
times it also creates a lot of the blockage. Like, and the thing is, Scorpions, the very first 4 5 months, they have to actually deal with this thought of that, okay, I do not fit in the society. I do not fit in this thing. I'm the black sheep in the family. I am not
Hmm.
done something. So this kind of pattern they have to break. That's the very first thing. Second thing is that definitely see, fourth house, if you're like actually doing something in the public domain, like if you are connected with the politics, if you are a social worker, you run any NGOs or something. So definitely next year will give you a lot of the opportunities to do something good for the society from the core of your heart. Like if this is what your
Hmm.
heart crave for, desire for. But as
Hmm.
much as it is good for like the way as a social worker doing good for the society, you can get the accolades out there in the society. But when you will come back to your home, in your dwelling, over there will be complaints, there will be bickering, there will be self doubts and all of that. So yes, whatever I'm seeing over here with the Saturn's movement in the fifth house and their ascendant lord in this turmoil, in this anguish and all, and even the
Hmm.
Ketu in the 10th house will be bringing a lot of the transformation. Things are not going to be getting stabilized and all. So my recommendation to the Scorpions for the next year is that first of all, doing meditation will become very important. Taking
Hmm.
things the way they are happening, and coming in terms with the reality, coming in terms with, rather that not repelling or forcefully trying to amend any changes in their family life, is one thing which I want to recommend to the Scorpions. And yes, I'm definitely sure for like if you are like planning to, like you are a big top notch builder, or you're planning to lay foundation to something, a big a dream project of yours, it might be, see, the thing is, Rahu in the Aquarius is all about either humanitarian, scientific, or big plans, grandiose things, collecting the world, making world a better place, connecting the world. So I will be honest, in one line, if I were to summarize, it is good for the acknowledgement, good for the awards, good for the humanitarian efforts. It is a mess in the personal life. It is a mess in your personal space, personal peace. That's all what I have to say. Sorry, Scorpions.
No, no, but thankfully, Jupiter is in the eighth house. So that might just be a big time saving grace for them, because
Yeah.
Jupiter is the lord of the fifth also in the eighth. So
Yeah.
this might just balance things out a bit. Uh,
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously there's always a silver lining, but I agree that they have to change themselves, their perspective, and they have to balance things out. At the workplace, Ketu is there, waiting there. So we have to, whenever Ketu is there, so you don't feel like working, you become lazy. So and when this transit is happening, I think Sun will be in Taurus as well, in the Kendra. So because in and around May, it is in a Taurus sign. So that is something which might just give you some issues with the authorities. So you might just switch immediately, after Ketu transits your 10th house. You might just feel that, no, I am not good, this place is not good for me, or this place is not meant for me. So that is something you have to work on, because once you leave, then this might become a little difficult task for you to sustain the job in future. So just stay calm, I would say, because Ketu is playing out in the 10th house. That is something you have to work on. Then Rahu for Sagittarius people is going to be in the third house. Now, third house is the house of travels, short distance journeys, communication, learning, also writing skills. You might just be, also this is the sign of gossiping and spreading the word. It's like that. You people might just conspire against you. People might just speak things which are just going downhill for you. So that is something that you have to be cautious about. Maybe you're just talking sense with someone, you're trying to communicate something at the workplace, and they just make it, they just make it up, and they just say that this person was saying so and so things, and you get defamation. So that kind of an energy is also going to play out. So you need to be very cautious about that you, whenever you're discussing things, keep things to yourself, because Rahu is a big mouth. Rahu is the main door of the house also. So you have to be careful about if you're staying in an east facing house, especially Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo people. You people have to be careful about your entrance door, especially don't clutter your entrances. And that's the remedy that just came up, that's what I say if
Definitely.
something comes up. So you people, especially 159 signs, they have to be more careful, because Rahu is in the trine, is forming a connection, in the air sign. So you people have to be more cautious about your communication, because that's the mouth, the entrance door. So you have to be on the learning side. You have to enhance your skills. If at all you're on the digital platform, do not at any cost utter anything. Do not fall prey to the false news journalism. There can be that you will get entrapped, or get influenced by somebody saying something or about something, and you make decisions. Okay, this particular share is going to rise, crypto shares, whatever, this is going to rise, so invest here. So don't go by hearsay. Just follow your instinct and take the advice and help of an expert. Maybe you have many projects, multiple projects that you have to deal with when Rahu is in your third house. And third house is about siblings also. So maybe your siblings are going to be traveling overseas. They're shifting out. And also for Sagittarius natives, this is going to be aspected by Jupiter in the 7th house. So marriage can trigger, it can lead to some house change also, your place change also, because Saturn, the dispositional lord, is in the 4th house. So there is a possibility of a change coming in, and Jupiter definitely is a protection because it's looking at your 1st house. So just be a go-getter. How about you?
Yeah, thanks, Vanita, as rightfully said by you. See, the thing is, for the Sagittarians, what my personal hunch for these guys is that next year will definitely going to be bringing a lot of relief and a lot of opportunities for them. Because see, the thing is, Vanita, I have seen a lot of the charts of some of the people who are like religious preacher. They do the Karam Kand, Puja, Path, and all of
Yeah.
that. And with their
Yeah.
ascendant lord being a Sagittarius rising, their ascendant lord in the 6th house. And that's what we call as the Bhikshu Yoga. So the thing is, no matter how talented, knowledgeable, intelligent they are, they're still somehow dependent on the kind of dakshina which they will get from the Yajman. They are somehow dependent on the clients and all. So and this is what the kind of turmoil they have been going through when their ascendant lord was making them struck in the 6th house. That was the first thing. Second thing, see, Rahu's energy in the Pisces. Again, we have to make a combination. Rahu and the Pisces in the 4th is never a good sign. It can actually give you illusion, delusion, self-doubt, self-negation, pessimism, and all of that. So definitely next year, things will turn out brighter and better for them. See, we all know this thing that Rahu in the Upachya house is considered as good. The beauty of the 3rd house and the connection with Rahu is that, see, 3rd house is the house of your talent, your skills. And Rahu is innately curious. It is more curious than Mercury. It wants to learn new skill. It wants to try new cuisine. It wants to try and exploring new places. So the thing is, this innate curiosity of Rahu and the talent which resides in the third house, which can actually give them strong mental dexterity or capacity to collaborate with new people, gain some new hobbies, gain some new skill. And the thing is that their ascendant lord, after like May, like when on the, I guess, yeah, in the month of May, when ascendant lord would also transit in the seventh house. So yes, for sure, things are looking very bigger, brighter for them. The same thing which I said for the Aries, think about scale up. I said for the Leo, think about the scale up. I will say the same thing for the Sagittarians, that this is the time for you to acquire new skill. Do not do things in a way, the monotonous way, the way you have been doing it from the past so many years. Try to revolutionize, revamp the way you exert yourself. And yeah, lot many connection, lot many friends, new hobbies, lot is in store for them. All what is needed out of them is to think out of the box. This is actually the time, like when lot many people start writing the book, they release their first novel, or people get their very first break. You finished your film school, you got the first audition, first break, they get launch pad. So yeah, and yes, all the precautionary things which you said, Vanita, that all is valid, that you have to be careful, not falling prey to any gossip, any propaganda and all of that. So yeah, plus minus both are there. But I can assure the Sagittarians that this year, whatever struggle you have dealt with, like this could be dealing with the issues with the subordinates, too much confusion, illusion, fighting in the domestic life. Next year is the year for you. Things will turn brighter, very better.
Absolutely. I agree. Ketu will be also in the ninth house, no? So this is also a good energy which is playing out in the ninth house. It is going to be making you quite spiritually inclined, in-depth knowledge you will get. So that's research-oriented mindset if you have. That's good. So overall, I think that 3-9 axis relationship had this Rahu been in ninth house, things would have been not that great as compared to Ketu energy. And also, we have to check Sun's position whenever we are talking about. So when Sun is in the eighth house of yours, so you have to be cautious. So all that, of course, will come in the henceforth videos, because then there will be
Yes, we
eclipse
will.
also happening. There will be eclipses happening in this zone.
It was
How
just,
the
I was heating my food in the microwave when we got into conversation. It was just we did not plan on it, right? It just happened like
yeah,
this.
yeah, it was
We
just
will have, we will
unplanned.
definitely, for your audience, for the listeners, we will definitely come up next time as well, much more ready, prepared with the numbers, the statistics, with the details. Yeah, but just to
Yeah,
give you
we'll
guys
we'll
an
we'll
idea,
share we'll
overview.
share everything with them. I have that already, and this is not the end, it's just the beginning, that we are collaborating together. It's going to be definitely a long association for sure. Thank you so much, Nipun, and for
I'm
doing this,
grateful. I'm grateful. Yeah.
extempore. So
Yeah.
for Capricorn natives, they're waiting from a long time, because I have been hearing, when will I get a job, when will I get a job, when will I get a job. So for Capricorn natives, this is the second house transit of Jupiter, of Rahu. And then, it is about unconventional means of making money, of course. There can be your family dynamics might change, chemistry and bonding will change. There can be strained relationships, but definitely good for your wealth. Wealth prospects are going to improve. Anything related to your health, or your association with right kind of people is concerned, and making money out of money is concerned, this is going to be a good transit for you. But don't be involved in impulsive spending, because there is a very strong strong scope of having money out of the unethical way. Also, whenever Rahu is in the second house, you have to be cautious. And there can be some health issues to your partner, because it's the eighth house from the seventh. Take care of your partner's health, and also take care of your family members' relationship with you. You have to be little more cautious about your, you have to be more careful about your relationship. Handle with care, I would say. Thankfully, Jupiter is there in the sixth house, so it's a big time protection. So over to you, Nipun. What do you have to say?
Yeah, when that's rightfully said by you, I just want to add few things over here. Definitely, when we talk about, first, I will see the sign of the Rahu, where like it definitely co-rules that sign. When we talk about second house, Rahu is a very materialistic planet in the one of the like important Artha Bhava. Rahu is transiting over there. So definitely when we talk about the second house connected entity, where we talk about finances, we talk about families, where we talk about your inculcated family values and everything. So definitely Rahu will drive see, the thing is, even for the Capricorn natives, the thing is, okay, we always have to take into consideration that whatever transit or transition is happening, from where it is happening. So if for the Capricorn, like for 2.5 years, you have your ascendant lord strengthened in your second house. I'm very much sure for the
Yeah.
Capricorn natives, it would have laid foundation to something important. Now, the thing is, the beauty is that whatever Saturn has, and if it has not happened, trust me, guys, it is like this is a reminder call for the Capricorns. You have like last 6-7 months to encash on that, because it's Saturn again is going to come back in this position in your second house only after like 28-30 years. Guys, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I mean to say,
Yeah.
Saturn in your second house would have enabled you, forced you to lay some foundation. You kept on saying this thing, I am sick and tired of working under someone. Start your own business. Saturn would have created those opportunity for you. I'm sick and tired of living in a rented space. It might have created something for you, because whenever Saturn is in the Mool Trikona sign, ascendant lord, the whole energy focus was there in the second house. So I'm very much sure in the 2.5 years, it would have enabled something for you. And whatever it has done, the seeds you have sown, Rahu will blast off it. So I'm very much sure that for the Capricorn natives, if they have invested into some businesses, some startups, or they have laid something, it is going to be the time period for experiencing the growth in the seeds which they have sown in the 2.5 years. Like the way I was saying this thing, even if you go by the house placement. So Rahu and like Saturn will leave their second house and it will enter the third house. Saturn's transit from the third house is also considered as good. So what I personally feel is that Rahu is definitely going to be coming to open or expand some important avenues, financial avenues for them. See, the only thing which I want to say, where I'm like, this is one such dictum which which touched me. But whenever Rahu or Ketu has any involvement with the second house, see, Aquarius is a sign where Saturn delivered the justice. And Saturn is a very law-abiding planet. So never ever give false testimony. We say कभी झूठ मत बोलो, कभी important situation में, like for example, any issue happened in the family and they reached out to, he's the neutral guy, ask him, and you lied, or in a lawsuit or in the
Putting him in the
office.
spot.
Yeah. So never lie. Saturn will never spare you. Saturn can abide by and forgive any, although Saturn will not forgive anything, but still it's a planet of justice. But yes, if it is transiting from a second house, do not lie. And one thing which I want to say for the Capricorn guys is that, yes, guys, you have like last 5-6 months and cash on it. This alignment is only going to be happening after 30 years next. So try to make the best use of it, because whatever you will sow, Rahu will ensure to magnify or amplify.
Yeah. And that is the time to reap the results now. Very good.
Yeah.
And it is also activating your 10th house, and Jupiter is also activating your 10th house simultaneously. So it is definitely very positive for the people who are looking for some job openings, in case you are not comfortable in your job that if you are not having any job, or if you want to change. So this is going to bring that change also, no? And also, Ketu is also playing out a very important role here in the 8th house. 8th house Ketu is not bad, because Ketu is any which way is a transformative planet, and he wants you to connect with the spiritual realms. So this is going to be a detaching energy. Maybe you will have problems in inheritance, you can have issues in legal matters, you can have some health issues, but this will make you learn your lesson of your life now. This is a thought awakening, a thought-provoking kind of energy which is playing out in your 8th house. Okay. Now coming to the Aquarius. This is the first house transit for you. And Aquarius natives will definitely feel a radical shift during this time period, because from this second house energy, it was in the second house, right? Now, from the second house, now this is going to be bringing the energy of the second house to the first. You have learned the ways to, or the tacts to make money. Now, this is the time to actually, it's a fruition time for you. Now you're going to be achieving the goals that you've set, monetary goals, that confidence that you were not having, that confidence building is going to take place now. It's as I said, radical shift which is coming into your life. And this will bring in a partner who's maybe, from quite spiritual, because Ketu is in the 7th house. It might just bring in some detaching energies with others on the whole, because if first house is you, seventh house is the rest of the world, like the others. So now you will be becoming too self-centric, because in the second house, you have actually not been satiated materially. Now you want that shift that is happening will make you become more selfish, more rebellious, more detached in the personal level, on the personal exchange. But for monetary, you're going to be doing really well. And as it is, for Aquarius, Jupiter is right there looking at you. So this is the first house from the fifth. So this is going to be emitting the wisdom also, and it is going to be good for progeny, romance, any kind of relationship that you want to trigger, and definitely righteous path you have to opt for making money now. Okay, over to you.
Yeah, see, Vanita, I have like some good experiences over here to share, because see, the thing is,
Okay.
the best experience is what you have practically personally experienced. So the thing is, we all know this thing that Rahu is in the Pisces, and I kept on mentioning that, okay, I'm a Aries Lagna. So imagine just before it, Rahu's transit was right over there on my ascendant, and the way I have practically sensed it. Okay, the very first thing is that they say that it has the potential capacity to completely change your personality or identity. I got my Canadian citizenship when Rahu was there in my ascendant. That's the first thing.
Wow.
Second thing is
Wow.
that, okay, they say that, okay, like lot many actors, people, they get nominated, they get the award and all. See, the thing is, okay, wherever life has put me, I'm contented. But that was the very first time being a guy who never did any theater, any drama, or bad English right in the college time and all. I was the one who acted in a Hollywood movie, and that is a different case. I
Wow.
again got
That's
featured
new.
as an astrologer.
Wow.
The thing is, that is what my identity that I cannot get rid of, and
Rahu
I'm very
was over
grateful.
your first house, huh?
First
Aries.
house. So that was the first house, that so many events happened which I've been reading only in the books, because obviously before that, when it happened 18 years back, it would have been like I was in an altogether different age. So the thing is, I practically sensed it that, okay, whenever Rahu's going through the first house, so it gives you a new identity, persona,
Yeah.
the way the
Yeah.
world looks at you, or it completely like makeshift your personality, your public image and all.
Absolutely.
And second
Yeah.
thing, lot many people stand a chance. Again, guys, understand this thing. In my case, it was different because I'm Aries, but you are Aquarius Lagna, and Aquarius Lagna natives are considered as the most philanthropic, humanitarian. They are the most naive people. So my concern is that if, let's say, for example, in any capacity, you're doing something which is in the lines of the Aquarius, which has to do with scientific thing, innovation, something to do with making world a better place, which is binding and connecting the world together. So if you have been unconditionally, without being attached to the reward or the return on the investment, you have been doing something for the sake of the communities and society. This is going to be the time when the recognition, limelight, award, being on put on that pedestal, all those things will work out for you. This is one such kind of transit which has this potential to completely, like the way, because the sign lord of the Aquarius, Saturn, is also transiting in the second house. So whatever transformation churning up is going to happen over here, it will become a part of your DNA, it will become a part of your identity. So you deeply inculcated values and all. So yes, majorly all what I can say over here is that for recognition, for popularity, complete makeshift in your personality and all, this is going to be a very golden time for the Aquarians. And I would say that during this time, whatever they will do, whatever they will touch, all what matters is that, because there's a very least possibility that they are going to be misguided, deluded. Because why I'm saying this thing, because Jupiter in the fifth house is the house of your the thoughts which comes to your mind, your intellect. It is well guarded, safeguarding it. That okay, my son, my child, I do not want you to be deluded. Saturn in the second house also make you very disciplined, also makes you very restricted and all. So I mean to say, Aquarians are actually headed in the right direction. Again, see, it all comes down to the way they say that the more sugar you add, the more sweeter it becomes. So it all depends on the kind of karmas you have done so far from the past so many years. If the balance sheet of your karma is filled with good deeds in the society, in the community and all, where unconditionally you have offered yourself for the sake of the betterment of the society, of the humanity and all, this is the year when you will reap the rewards for sure.
Yeah, that is something that you should be doing actually. But in the first house, it makes you a rebellion. It is Aquarius is what, it's a kumbha. So
Cool.
what
Yes.
happens is a picture which has lot inside. You are Aquarians are lot deeper. Actually, they are not superficial people. They have a lot of in depth. Whatever they will do it very authentically. They know the
Yeah.
basis or the foundation of whatever they are doing. It's not a superficial world for them. But
Yes.
when
Yes.
Rahu goes there, this might just take you away from the authenticity or the right path. You might just take yourself away from all these things. So you have to be more in depth. You have to take this as an opportunity to explore something very unconventional, unbiased. So you will
Yes.
definitely flourish. The Aquarians, as it is, they're the air signs, and I know they
Yes.
are really, doing well. And Ketu is going to be in your seventh, so you will definitely get detached from the outside world during this time. You will be more towards yourself, as I said in the beginning part. Coming to the last one, because your sandwich
Sandwich
is
is
set
waiting.
in the is set inside, so we better complete
Okay.
it, and then you can just have it. So for Pisces
Okay.
natives, this is the 12th house transit of Rahu, and it brings in too much of foreign connections. As it is, it's a sign of hidden enemies, so you must be careful about that. And there can be some spiritual growth that you're looking for, something very unconventional. Maybe you're not from the Vedic culture, but you're not Hindu, or you're not Indian, but you just opt for astrology. Just an example I'm giving. So it could be anything spiritual, but something which is out of the league. Not anyone in your family is following that culture or religion. Somebody who is hospitalized. So this is something which will take you to that zone also. Maybe in the family somebody is hospitalized, or you are going to be looking after someone for a longer duration. So be prepared for that also. So money loss also happens. You're going to be spending on the gadgets. Rahu in the 12th house. And also, this is a house of bed pleasures. So this will be like exponentially, you will have that inclination towards sex and all that. But you need to be careful about your relationship, because this is the house of addiction also. So you have to draw a line. Don't get into too much of alcohol and all that matters. You have to keep yourself very aware of this. You can travel for studies during this time. There are certain fears, morbid fears, which can aggravate during this time. Thankfully, we have a Jupiter waiting here in your Gemini sign, looking at this zone. So though Jupiter will be back and forth also, but still it is definitely going to take most of the Rahu energy. It'll tame, because here, what happens when Rahu is in the 12th house, in the 12th house, and Jupiter in the 4th house. So this brings in a purchase of property in your homeland. From the foreign land, you will send the money, and you will buy a homeland, a home in your home land. You will buy a property. So that is also quite possible. And Saturn is in your Lagna, not to forget that. So you are going to be showing us the path now, Nipun, when Saturn is in the Lagna and Rahu is in the 12th.
See, Vanita, for example, the way I mentioned that, okay, Rahu is there in my 12th house right now as well. So trust me, like the Pisces Lagna, see, the thing is, this is one thing which I have seen, like certain tidbits which I go by the formula in my sleeves kind of thing. Pisces Lagna, because in their case, the 11th house and the 12th house is being ruled by the same planet. So Pisces Lagna in itself is very much prone towards getting scammed at some time in the life and not, or being betrayed by a very close friend of them or not at some stage in their life. So this is what their innate DNA of their chart is. Second thing is that Rahu in the 12th house, trust me, you'll be getting lot many calls from the Nigerian prince for sure. So lot many scam calls are definitely going to be coming in. And see, the problem is that, okay, see, the
And
thing
why
is,
do you
this is
say
how it
that?
works. It happened to me. I've been victim, been there, done that, experienced that in the past 1.5 years. So I'm desperately waiting for Rahu to leave Pisces and enter Aquarius. Trust me, I'm telling you, I'm sick and tired of it. So the thing is, yeah, see, the thing is,
Don't worry, it is going
Rahu,
to happen. Yeah.
yeah, in the Aquarius, Rahu in the Aquarius, it all has to do with that. Money is will end up going out from your pocket. It might be, it's very rightly said by you, the way you connected the dots, that okay, people from the foreign land send the money to buy the land in their home place, Jupiter in the 4th house. Very beautiful connection. Second thing is that, see, the thing is, yeah, it's about, this is one such kind of combination because, see, Aquarius in a nutshell in the original Kalpurush Kundli is the sign of the gains, wish fulfillment. So Rahu tend to do not follow any rule book when it comes down to the wish fulfillment and all. 12th house is also the house of bed pleasure. So this is one such kind of combination when people get into live-in relationship as well. So like definitely going by the Desh Kal Patra in the Western countries a normal thing. But even in India, someone might have the audacity to take that step that I don't care now. So I have to live in, do not have to wait to get married and all. So yes, Rahu in the 12th house is kind of little bit taboo breaking and all. So when we talk about Rahu in the 12th house in the Aquarius, is not at all meant to deliver something to a person who is well in the living in the domain, in the boundaries and the rules laid down by the society. But if you are kind of an outlaw kind of person, it could benefit you. Second thing is that anything to do with the research, something to do with the foreign land or something being away from your birthplace and all, Rahu can give you success in all those unusual, in isolated kind of circumstances and something. But I still would say for the Pisces Ligna, Saturn is going to be there in your first house. And Saturn's energy in the first house is not a very easy energy to deal with or handle with. Like Saturn is a very heavy energy to deal with. And yes, I would still say that the recognition aspect and the expansion and the recognition, acknowledgement, all of that, they have to still wait Rahu to enter, like not in the Aquarius, they have to wait for it to enter the Capricorn in their 11th house. But right now for the Pisces Lagna, it's all about playing safe, safeguarding themselves from any behind the scene activities, engagement, alliances, people secretly envious of them, pretending to be their friend, but behind them plotting things against them, all these scam calls and everything. So yes, I would say that they have to tread very carefully. And if in any case it can benefit them, if you are completely isolated and invested in some research, devoted to a cause. Like, for example, again, it all comes down to Desh Kal Patra. Saturn in the first house will make you very unconditional. This could be case that you're working with, Doctors Without Borders. You're working with some United Nations kind of organization. You do not care about the gains and you just want to give back to society. You just want to unconditionally give back to society. Then it can function. But yes, word of caution and care. Be careful of the scam calls. And yes, that's all.
Yeah, that's
Foreign
happening a
investment.
lot actually these days. That's too much on the spree, these scamsters. It's just increasing like anything. And also, Ketu is there in the 6th house. So we have to be cautious about the health part also. The Pisces natives have to take care of their health any which ways, mental health, their relationship with their co-workers and all, they have to be really, they have to balance that also, the daily routine. So go for a fitness routine, have a, mandatory routine, gym routine, or a, diet routine every day you have to follow. So that is the Ketu energy playing out in the 6th house as well. So yeah, that's it. Let me just read the comments. I'm getting too many comments. Let's
Please,
read them out.
I'm sure they would have been.
I'll just share with you because okay, somebody says looking forward to this. That's the first comment. And then wow, 2 favorite astrologers together. And then wow, astro celebrities. Wow, see, you made me also a celebrity alongside, because a celebrity is here. Great. Oh, my 2 favorite astrologers. That's what. Okay, everyone's saying Mars is about to do serious damage in America. I don't think so. We can comment on it right now. And Gen Z mental health issues. Yeah, I wanted to discuss this. Maybe we'll do something about this also. The Gen Z, they are just coming and asking a lot of questions, that how we can, deal with the mental health issues. They're totally different and changed. And with that is the word, for Aquarius Rahu, Gen Z, because that is the most fresh and innovative and up to date kind of a sign. So Gen Z definitely is going to do well, flourish, but surely mental health will suffer because the right opposite is Ketu. So in the natural zodiac, if you see Aquarius, Leo, so that is something which, we have to. Then thanks, guys, for all what you do. May God bless you and your family. Thank you so much. From San Francisco. Hi, Nipun, please comment on bombardment of astrology-related content on social media. Yeah, that's true. That's because Rahu is in Pisces sign, and people have just suddenly, taken over the YouTube platform, isn't it? YouTube,
Yes.
social media, elsewhere. You were saying something about that earlier also.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
let's, too many comments, too many comments. Everybody is a fan of yours, I feel.
No, 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 it's not like
Yeah,
that. It's not
big
like that.
fans.
No,
They're
no,
just following you.
no,
Wow.
no. But Vanita will definitely
My channel has actually is going to grow, I
no, no.
think, because I have such a
It's
celebrity.
just the
He's
beginning.
he's a good actor. I didn't know this. I didn't know.
No, no. We just started. We will just keep on following
Yeah.
the
Sure,
trend.
sure, sure.
And
Thanks
yeah,
so
I'll just
much for this
thanks.
collaboration, in fact.
Thanks.
And please go have your sandwich.
Exactly.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye and stay